If you recently found out you're a reflector in human design, or you simply want to learn more about this amazing and rare energy type, then this video is for you. Hi guys, my name is Veronica. I'm a coach and human design guide, and I've spent the last 15 years helping people achieve their version of success. Today I share human design with you through my channel in a way that is simple to understand and easy to implement, so that you can find more alignment in who you are, what you do, and how you do it. So if that sounds good to you and you'd like to learn more about your particular design, then make sure you subscribe if you haven't done so already, and if you do like this video, then please give it a thumbs up. I'm so excited to share this video with you today because the reflector energy type was the only one missing from my energy type series. I've already created videos on manifestors, manifesting generators, and projectors. So if you're interested in learning about any of the other energy types, then I will leave a link to the playlist somewhere here on the screen and down in the description box below. But today we're focusing on the rare and gorgeous reflectors. Now, reflectors make up around 1% of the population, so they are truly a rare and precious energy type. But before we dive into the details of this energy type, let me first of all help you understand what about someone's chart makes them a reflector. A very distinctive characteristic of the reflector chart is that they have no centers defined. There are 9 energy centers in everyone's chart, and in all of the other energy types there will be at least 2 of these energy centers defined. And the way that you'll know that they're defined is because they will be colored in. Unlike the other energy types, however, reflectors have no defined energy centers, so their chart will look completely white. This technically means that you're not an energy being. You're not here to create energy and add to the energy of the world. You're here, similar to projectors, to guide the energy that already exists. The fact that all of the energy centers are undefined or open made the reflectors an incredibly sensitive type, which is both their superpower but also comes with some challenges. We're going to look at those later on in the video. For now, let's first explore the aura of a reflector. The reflector aura is known as being reflective, or sometimes referred to as resistant, and sampling. So the reflector aura is sampling in the way that it's designed to try different things, sample different things, and adapt to the environment around it. But it's also resistant and reflective because instead of taking all of that energy in and holding on to it, the aura is designed much like a mirror to reflect that energy back. This is also why the reflectors are often referred to as the mirrors of society. So let's look at some key characteristics of the reflector energy type. I've already alluded to the first one, but the reflectors are incredibly adaptable. They are in fact chameleonic. They are able to adapt to whatever environment and whatever energies they're surrounded by. They essentially have this incredible ability to become a match for whatever situations, people, and environments they find themselves in. I often think of reflectors as Mystique in the X-Men. They're able to mimic the energies that they're surrounded by and become and embody that very thing. This is truly such a powerful gift, because they're able to become whatever they need to be in the moment that they're in. This is why it's so important for reflectors not to get tied up thinking that they have to define themselves, thinking that they have to find their identity, thinking that they have to pick one path, because their strength really comes from living through different situations, different experiences, different emotions, different energies, different people, sampling all of these things and getting to experience all of these things for however long that experience lasts, and then letting it go in order to experience and become something else. On a practical level, this means that reflectors can truly do and become anything that they wish. All they have to do is put themselves in the right environments, surround themselves with the right people and situations, and they will be able to adapt and thrive. Because they're so open, they have such a deep understanding of other people's experiences. They have such a deep connection with the world around them. They are extremely sensitive beings, like I mentioned earlier, and this really is a strength and should not be seen as a weakness or as a negative thing. Sometimes being sensitive is used as an insult. Don't be so sensitive, but actually being able to connect to someone else's or something else's experience to such depth is an incredible skill that not many people have and that not many people understand. And often when we don't understand something is when we are quick to criticize it. In fact, the sensitivity of a reflector is exactly what we need as a community. Reflectors reflect back to the collective what is going on in the world. So what they're able to do is to show you exactly what is happening. So if you put a reflector in a happy room, they will reflect back happiness and amplify that happiness. If you put them in a hostile room, they will reflect back and amplify that hostility. They are truly neutral, and they're here to show us what we need to see and recognize in ourselves in order to better ourselves and evolve. Because reflectors are so open, not just to other people's energies, but also to the energies of the world at large, they are often people who have a more mystical experience of life. They often have a deeper connection with the spiritual, they might be psychic, they might have a much stronger awareness and affinity for things that most people struggle to grapple with. These are the people that can physically feel connections that go beyond the material plane. Something else to note for reflectors is that, as I've mentioned quite a few times now, it's really important for reflectors to be aware that their environment has an extreme impact on their well-being and their health. Of course, this is true for everyone, but it's especially true for reflectors. So if you are a reflector, it's really important that when you're looking at your health, when you're looking at your well-being, you always take your environment into consideration. It's not enough for you to take care of your internal health and maybe eat healthy and get some good sleep and exercise if then your environment is constantly polluting you, because that is what will still lead to illness and to just not feeling good in yourself. Your internal well-being is of course really important, but be extra mindful as a reflector of your external environment. Of course, it's not always easy to change the environment that you're in, but as a reflector, it needs to be a priority for you to look at the environment, understand whether it's making you happy, whether it's bringing you joy, whether it's keeping you excited and feeling good about yourself or not. And if the answer is no, then it's important to start looking at what changes can be made. Some of them will be smaller, some of them will be larger, but what changes you can start to put in place to start to refine and improve the environment around you. Sometimes that might mean changing jobs. Sometimes that might mean losing old friends and making new ones. Sometimes it might be walking away from a relationship that is really unhealthy for you. Sometimes it might mean actually moving home or city or country. The important thing here is to identify the things in your environment that are having a negative impact on you, and then slowly but surely starting to take action and starting to put things in place so that you can transition out of an environment that doesn't suit you, that doesn't help you, doesn't encourage you to thrive, and into one that does. Now, some of the challenges that come with this energy type is that because they are so sensitive, they can also find it difficult to deal with that sensitivity, especially when they feel like others around them don't understand their experience. Sometimes being so affected by all of the things that are happening around you can be overwhelming, and sometimes you can feel a little bit hopeless or helpless. The key here for you is to take time out whenever you need it to be in your own energy and to reset and recharge, recoup, so then you can go out there again and help us all with your incredible gift. Sometimes reflectors can go to the other extreme where they become reclusive, where they become complete hermits, where they literally just want to hide from everyone because they don't want to be affected, because they don't want to feel overwhelmed by other people. But we need you, reflectors. The world needs you. So what is important is to have the right boundaries in place that allow you to fulfill your purpose and to share your gifts with the rest of the world, but without it being at the cost of your own health, well-being, and happiness. So the way to do that is to find boundaries, to put them in place so that you can strike the right balance for you as an individual to show up in the world and share your role as a reflector, but also to allow yourself to retreat into your own safe space to recharge as much as needed. Another struggle that reflectors can face is to find a sense of identity, to find a sense of direction in life. Because their energy is sampling, because they are here to embody the energies of others, because you are chameleons, you find it so easy to become the people you surround yourself with. Sometimes one of the challenges that you can face is that you don't know when someone else ends and when you begin. Now again, taking time to reflect on you and your desires and your wants and your needs away from everyone else will be beneficial, because it will make it easier for you to check in with yourself and see how you truly feel about something, or what you desire, or what it is that you want to focus on that day. However, something to consider is that maybe you don't need to have one identity. Maybe you don't need to pick one path. Maybe the strength in being a reflector is that you get to move through life being different people, doing different things, following different paths. It's kind of like you get to live 1,000 lifetimes in one. Remember, you are extremely rare. So maybe, just maybe, your experience is not designed to be the same as everyone else's. Maybe your experience is designed to be as rare as you. Another challenge that reflectors face is that they often don't feel seen, truly seen. Because they are a mirror, every time they're surrounded by people, they are reflecting back. And so people often see themselves in you rather than seeing you. And so it can leave you feeling isolated, misunderstood, lonely. Now, this is one of those times that curating your environment is so important. And in this particular scenario, I'm referring to the people you surround yourself with. Because in order to avoid feeling lonely, in order to avoid feeling like no one truly sees you, you need to have people around you where you feel safe to openly communicate your needs, your feelings, your experiences. And even if they might not be able to understand them fully, if you're surrounded yourself with good people, they will at the very minimum be able to empathize and support you through your own experiences, even if they can't fully relate, even if they can't fully understand them. So again, it's not about you detaching yourself from others. It's not about you being so different from others that no one can understand you and therefore you can be supported. We can support each other through our differences. We can love, respect, and inspire each other through our differences. Something to look out for when we're struggling to have a feeling of belonging is that we may lean into people pleasing, or we may lean into doing things that we wouldn't normally do just to fit in, or making rash decisions, or trying to overperform, or, stand out because we want to be seen, because we want to fit in, because we want to be accepted. And more often than not, when we lean into those behaviors, we actually create more resistance. So if you can recognize some of these behaviors in yourself, it's a good time to check in and to really ask yourself, what are your intentions behind some of the decisions that you're making, some of the things that you're doing? Because that will tell you a lot about some of the changes that need to happen, some of the things that would be good for you to work on in order to find more alignment. Now, this brings me on to another important aspect of being a reflector, which is your signature and your not self theme. So signature in human design is simply the sign that tells you that you're in alignment. And the not self theme, on the other hand, is the sign that tells you that you're not living in alignment to your nature and to your design. The signature for a reflector is a feeling of surprise. And this is because you love to experience the variety that life has to offer. You love to be surprised by life because it means that you're allowing yourself to experience the ever-changing world around you. And so the world continues to surprise you with new things, new feelings, new emotions, new energies, new people, new opportunities. So if you're feeling surprised by life, that is a good sign that you're allowing yourself to embody your reflector energy and to live life in alignment to your design. On the other hand, the not self theme for reflectors is a feeling of disappointment that drains you, that makes you feel like, what's the point? This is a kind of disappointment that can sometimes be described as depression. It's this feeling of nothing makes me feel excited. Nothing seems worth it. Nothing seems like it's going to bring me joy. It's this being disappointed in life itself. If you start to feel this, it's time for you to course correct, right? These feelings are just signposts that are saying, hey, lovely reflector, you have gone off track. You are not in alignment. It's time to make changes so that you can get back to who you were always meant to be. You can get back to using your gift the way that they're designed to be used so that you feel amazing, so that you start to feel joyful and excited and surprised again, so that you get to fulfill your purpose and we get to experience the amazing value that you bring as a reflector. Again, you guys are so rare that you really are very precious, and so it's important for you to step into the shoes of the reflector that you are, and it's important for us as a collective to start to understand reflectors more and to start to support you in doing what you need to do, and then we all thrive together. The last thing I want to touch on is the strategy for a reflector energy type. Strategy in human design is your path of least resistance to attracting the right and aligned opportunities for you. The strategy for a reflector is to wait a lunar cycle. It sounds a bit random, at least it did for me when I first discovered human design and I started to learn about reflectors. But essentially, because reflectors are so open, as I've mentioned many times throughout this video, you guys are really sensitive to the energy of the moon. Think of yourself as the ocean. As the moon moves through the lunar cycle, the tides change accordingly. The same thing is happening to you. As the moon moves through its lunar cycle, it's activating different gates in your chart. Now, I don't want to get too technical on you with this. In simple terms, what this means is that as the moon moves through its cycles, you will experience different energies throughout that month. As a result, you ideally want to wait a full lunar cycle in order to be able to experience a decision, an opportunity, something that you think you might want to do through the different energies that the movement of the moon will be causing. Think of it as having full spectrum of the different feelings, emotions, and sensations that you might experience as different energies move through your system. And once you have that full picture and you've experienced that full spectrum, it will be easier for you to find clarity as to how you really feel about something, because it's almost like you've looked at it through different lenses. And once you've looked at it through all the lenses, you'll be able to make an educated decision, having as much information about it as possible. Now, of course, this is not always possible. You can't always wait 28 days. But as reflectors don't have what human design we refer to as inner wisdom, this is kind of like an inner compass that helps you navigate life, then using the rhythm of those cycles that the moon provides is a really good way for you to have something that is consistently present, that you can sync to, that can give you a more reliable and predictable pattern for you to find clarity and then make aligned decisions as you share your gift with the world. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this introduction to the reflector energy type. You guys are so rare. If you are a reflector, please say hi, leave me a comment, give me your thoughts, share your experiences. I share this wisdom with you in the hope that it will help, but of course, I'm not a reflector. I can't possibly comprehend fully how you guys experience life, so I would love any feedback, any comments, any thoughts from the reflectors out there. But if you did enjoy this video, I would be really grateful if you would give it a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel if you'd like to see more content like this, and if you need any further support, then you can always check out my website where you can find all of my free resources and paid services. And if you're feeling a pull towards discovering more about your human design, you can book a human design reading with me. I will leave the link down below in the description box. But if you have any questions, please leave them down in the comments and I will get to them as soon as I can. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you here next week. Bye guys.